What's up, guys, and welcome back to Athena's Garage. In today's video, we're going to be working on the sloppy rear end on the Honda Recon. Let's get right into it. First things first here, just to show you guys, the bearings in this thing are absolutely toast. They are completely gone, so we will be trying to replace them along with trying to fix the rear brake. So I did this on the previous Recon that I have now sold, and it was definitely a job. I didn't have to do the bearings for the rear axle, just the bearing for this brake here, so I have a feeling this is gonna be a lot more trouble because the other one was a lot of trouble. I did buy a bunch of stuff up here. As you can see, I got a new rear brake line. This is from All Balls Racing. And then I bought a bunch of here's the rear brake stuff. I'll have all this stuff listed down in the description. If you want to help support my channel, use those links because they are affiliate links and I do get a little kickback from them. I did get this bearing kit and all this stuff here. This is from the other day. Anyway, so first things first, you're gonna want to squirt some penetrating fluid on those axle bolts there, axle nuts, sorry. They need to soak for a while because they can be difficult, but I was able to loosen the outside one. I haven't been able to get to the inside one yet, but I think I'll still be able to loosen it. I have been soaking them for a few days just to get it done. The four-wheeler is lifted off the ground on some jack stands, so I'm going to pull the tires off, the wheels off right now, and then we'll move on from there. All right, the rear wheels are off, so now we need to get this hub off so we can pull those little things off. There's a bunch of stuff over here we have to pull off of the axle. So we're gonna have to also pull off the hub on the other side. And if you need to pull these off, they are, I believe, a 30. I think that's what they are, yeah. And I had to buy a kit, impact kit for these things. So if you wanna grab one of those, it'll be linked down below. This little kit right here comes with all these impact things. Pretty cheap, but I'm gonna pull these cotter pins out of these castle nuts for the axle nuts, get both of these hubs off of here, and then we should have a lot more room and stuff to pull the axle out and slide everything off. For some reason, the cotter pin on that side over there was a pain to get off, but now that the hubs are off, we're going to need access to some of the stuff over here, so I'm gonna take this skid plate underneath here off. And you got one bolt here, and I think two on the other sides. They look like 10s, 10 or 12s. And then we're also gonna need to take this brake bracket off here. So we'll take this off, this little thing, you just spin this thing. You're supposed to put a nut on here and hold this while you spin this off, because as you can see, it's spinning the whole cable. And then pull it out of here, and then we should be able to start taking these actual axle nuts off. So let me get all that off of there, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, those were 12s, holding on that skid plate. Now this 10 right here to take off this brake holder right here. And then again, I need to take this off. I think this is like a 6 or 7 or something like that, little nut right here that you hold while you twist this off to undo that. Not sure why it's such a pain to get this thing off of here, but it definitely was not fun getting this off. The 10mm bolt came off really easy. You do have to have a wrench on the back because it holds it like that in here. But for some reason, this thing just did not want to come off of here. I had to pry and pry and pry, and I finally got it off of there. Now I just had to figure out, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these just come right off. And the same with this spring. So now that's off of there. We're gonna set that off to the side, and we are going to try and get these axle nuts off. This one should be free. Yeah, it should just come right off. I think last time I did this, I actually turned the fuller on and put it in gear so that we could just run the fuller till it came off, but it seems like it's coming off pretty easy. I saw a guy and he made an actual contraption to go over this axle and fit onto these nuts, and he used an impact. I wish I had something like that because it would make this a whole lot easier, but I don't, so this is the route I'm gonna take. What I'll probably do for this one, I don't know if it'll come off. This is what I did for the other side. Yeah, just that right there. I'm gonna need to put it in gear because it is spinning right now, unfortunately. So I'll have to put it in gear and kind of tap this hammer. That's what I did before, and knock this one loose. So that's what I'm gonna try again with this one. Okay, I did get this one loose. It was pretty easy. I literally just put the foiler in reverse so you have something to tap against, and I just took a hammer and tapped on this thing a bunch. I didn't actually have to tap super hard, and it did come loose. But again, I have been soaking this for several days, so that could be a reason why. So I'm gonna unthread this thing. It's gonna take me like 10 minutes, and then we're gonna zip off these bolts holding this brake hub on, and then we'll see what we have from there. Also, keep in mind which goes where. The flat nut right here goes first, and then this other nut goes second, and then you also have a washer here, another washer here, and this is our, oh God, our old bearing. It's just disintegrating, so that's nice. Our C-clip in there is also disintegrated, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna be salvageable. We will see. But now we can take off these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 millimeter bolts right here to pull this brake hub off, and I think our axle will come off with it. Okay, there was a lot of dust that just came out of this brake hub. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I would say this is pretty bad. Look at that. These shoes are shot. This actual brake housing in here, I'm not sure. Oh God, what is that? A piece of something just fell off of here. Oh man. That's actually part of this, where the bearing goes. Ooh, this may not be salvageable here. Our C-clip is all kinds of messed up inside there. This is gonna be fun. So, our whole drum and stuff should slide out now. Oh my goodness. This brake drum is shot. Look at that. I've never seen one like that. So we may not be fixing this thing today. I may have to order a new brake drum because this thing is not good at all. Well, we should be able to pull our axle out. Look at all of this dirt. This is insane. Hopefully you guys can see this. I think you can. I don't know how salvageable any of this is. This is pretty bad. Now I do think the outside of the drum doesn't matter, but the inside is pretty wore down. So I'm not sure how usable this is gonna be. What the heck is this thing? It's a piece of metal in there. I'm gonna try to clean some of this stuff up, blow some of this dirt out of here, and maybe clean this up, pull this, well, I guess this just comes off, huh? Oh man. Oh, that's the spring, that's what that is. The spring parts here are missing from this side of the brake. And this thing, there's no brake left on this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is not good at all. Especially this inner thing here being broken. All right, so I'm gonna clean some of this stuff up, see what we can salvage here, and I'll bring you back when I got some things cleaned up here. Draining the rear gear oil, because it looks like there's supposed to be 2 seals in here that there isn't, I think. I'm not sure, and I just wanted to make sure there was actually gear fluid in here, which there is. Always recommend taking the fill off before you take the drain bolt out in case you can't take the fill cap off. So that's where I'm at with this. Now, I know there's a bearing that goes inside of this brake thing right here that we need to get out, but it looks like over here there is like a double bearing in there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it looks like a double bearing, and I only have one. I have 3 bearings, so I think 2 bearings go right here, and 1 goes on that brake drum thing, and I'm assuming that's it. I don't know. There's so much dust and gunk built up inside of this ring right here, so I'm not sure like where I'm supposed to dig out on there, if I'm supposed to get all that caked up crap out. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get these bearings over here out. I thought I had an idea, but I didn't. Now I'm trying to recontemplate some things. So I'll bring you guys around whenever I can figure something out. Okay, so after some contemplating here, we have a few problems. One, I pulled this seal out. I probably should have left it in there. This is a seal for in here, and I don't have a replacement for that one. Now I could buy one, but I wanted to try to get all this done today. The second is there's 2 bearings in here, so I was right. We need to knock both of those out and then replace them by knocking them 2 back in, which I think I can do. It won't be a problem, but I really don't want to have to take this swing arm off again. It was such a pain getting it on and off before. I don't want to mess with it again. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get those outer races out through here. I could potentially take off this whole diff, this rear diff here. But again, I don't really want to do that either. And I also need to get this brake hub, this all right here, off of here. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that. So this is all kind of the dilemma that I'm in right now. I will probably go to the press, my new press by the way, to press out this bearing. Even though it is broken right here, I should be able to still use this, I think, and just press it out that way. Man, this thing is chewed up in here. I really need to clean this up too. That's part of it. I cleaned up as best I could inside here with the wire wheel, and I'm probably just going to try to get everything together and just send it. I mean, I don't know what else to do at this point. I don't have anything else, and it is Friday, so I won't be getting anything for a while if I order it today. So that's where we're at. Can't find anything to press this out with, so what I've done is kind of tapped this bearing in this broken spot, and it actually broke the bearing, but it did crack it loose some, so I'm just trying to get something in here to tap it, to wedge it out, because I can't find anything big enough to, I don't have anything per se to fit on here. I don't have like the correct bearing kits for this new press here that I got. I'm still trying to brainstorm about what to do over there, but just updating you here. I'm going to try to clean this up some more too after I get this bearing out. I may actually even pressure wash it just to get all this gunk out of here. I did pull this little brake piece out and I cleaned it up with a wire wheel. It was really stuck in there. Again, I may clean all this stuff out with a pressure washer after I get this bearing out, and we can kind of assess more of the damage. Well, this press is coming in real handy already. Because it's so tall, I was able to put the axle in here. I also hammered the top of this. I forgot to put the nut on there, and it did mushroom this spot a little bit, but I was able, when I hammered it, it did come off a little bit here, so that's good. Now, I'm not sure what the heck is going on here. I know one of these is the bearing race. I think this one, but I don't know what the deal is there with the crack. So I got the drum off, so that's a big plus there. Now I can clean this thing up and maybe clean the axle up a little bit. But man, this press is coming in clutch. I'll have it linked down below if you want it. I literally just put it together last night, so that's freaking awesome. Okay, so I ran into another problem. It's going to be hard to see in here, but where the C-clip goes, you could see that inner like crease in there, but it's plugged up over here where this thing's all broken. So I'm not sure how that C-clip is going to go in here. I will say I'm going to press this bearing in here in a second, and I'll bring you guys along for that. But I don't know what I'm going to do about that C-clip, so we'll see when we get to it. Hopefully you can hear me. These mics keep messing up, which is frustrating. But here's the bearing. I'm going to set it in here. I have this socket. It fits pretty good, and it fits on the outside of this bearing race. So I think it's going to work. If you're curious, this is a 1 5/8 socket. I need to buy a legitimate bearing kit thing, but I don't have one right now. So we're going to press this down and press it in. Well, I will not be finishing this today. The press cracked this thing. I was trying to get the bearing in far enough on the inside here to put that C-clip on, and I almost got it, but something just wasn't lining up back here. It's pressed all the way in, but there's so much gunk on this side, it actually split this thing. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I can either try to put this back together and risk this, or I'm going to look up and see how much one of these plates are. They're probably not cheap, which is going to suck. Looks like I'm probably going to have to buy one of these. It's too risky just putting this back in with it being in such bad shape like it is, and now that it's cracked. I looked them up. They're like $60 for an off-brand version, but again, it's like on eBay, so it's going to take a week or two to get, unless I can find one on Amazon. So that sucks, because I wanted to get this done today, because I don't want to have all this crap laying around, but it makes sense to get it. It comes with the bearing already in it and everything already done. I'll literally just have to slap it all on. I was going to look at a new brake drum, but one of these things is ridiculously priced, and I don't want to have to spend that much money. For the whole set, it was going to be another $300 almost, and I just cannot put that kind of money into this thing because I'll never get my money back out of it. I'm probably going to just buy the $60 piece here and then work on trying to get those bearings, those two bearings on the other side over there out. That's kind of just where I'm at for now, unfortunately. So we're kind of at a standstill. I'm going to take a break, get some lunch, and try to do some thinking. All right, don't have my mic on, so not sure how that's going to sound. I tried to go a different route to get these bearings out. I pulled the rear final gear thing out, just 4 bolts on this side, 4 bolts on the other side, and it literally just pulls right out. Super simple. I thought I was going to be able to get a bearing inside, or a socket inside here and push these bearings out. Well, the tube shrinks and then expands, and I think that's what stops the bearings right about here. The diameter of the tube goes down, and I cannot get a socket in there big enough to fit on the races. And I've tried pounding, heating, everything. So my next thing, I'm going to go to AutoZone and return this 7-ton puller and try to rent a slide hammer and bearing puller and maybe clamp it in there and pull it out. But I'm nowhere near AutoZone. I'm like 35 minutes away. So unfortunately, it'll be a minute. For you, it'll be a second, but for me, it'll be a minute. So, okay, I went to AutoZone and picked up the wrong tools, didn't get the right size, and I just said, screw it. Tore this thing all back off the four-wheeler. This is the actual swing arm. Pulled everything out. I'm trying to weld a bead on the end here on this bearing, and it's already loosened up somewhat. And again, I'm horrible at welding, and I'm trying a different welder. This is a MIG welder. So I'm trying that, and it has loosened up some, so hopefully this works. Got one of them out. Hopefully got this other one out. I mean, you can see my welds are not good. I know nothing about welding. I'm literally just sticking this thing in there and trying to run it along, the inside of the race here, and it does eventually shrink it down. So I just did that one. You could see how bad of a job I did. I literally, again, know nothing about welding. So, and my neighbor's not here to help me. He said I could use this though, so here we are. Should have filmed it, but I didn't. But these bearings are pressed in. My neighbor came over and helped me use the press. They went in pretty easy. Obviously, the other bearings came out. I got both of them out. They're a pain to get these things out. If you have a welder, that's the only way I would imagine how to do it, unless you can get a good puller or something to pull them out. But there's nowhere to grab on these things. That's the problem. And you can't really go through the bottom. So I am going to put this seal in. I'm going to fill it up with grease, put the seal in. The little clip is in there. I think I pushed the bearings too far, but it is what it is. They both spin. They're both good to go. Like I said, going to fill this up with grease and then push it in here. And I'm going to put everything back up here, the swing arm back up here, because I should be good to go with it. I shouldn't have to mess with it anymore. I'm going to put it all up there, and I showed you guys how to do that in the last video. I think maybe I actually didn't, but you just kind of set it in there, put the swing arm pins in there, and then you should be good to go. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to put all this back in. It's getting dark. I've been messing with this for like 8 hours. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. I was supposed to clean this garage, but here we are. So let me get all this stuff done, and you guys will probably come back the next day I get the new piece. It's been a week or longer, and I got this new side bracket in. It's nice. The bearing's already in there. It comes with this little gasket kit too. So we should be able to throw this sucker on and be finished up with this project. I got to put the new brakes on. They should go on here, and the old little bracket thing goes there, which I did clean up the last time, so hopefully we got all that stuff still over here. It's just been sitting in a pile. Hopefully it's all still there. So let's try to throw this stuff together. Our new brakes, take them out. Here's our thing here. Here's this. This is gonna slide through here. Now I don't remember, I'm gonna have to look. One of these little O-rings goes on here, I believe, and this seal goes on the other side. So I'm gonna put some never-sees, anti-sees on this before I put it in here, and it stays in here. And I should be able to slide this thing in here, maybe like that. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look it up first before, hopefully that doesn't get stuck in there. It may be in there now. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. Real quick, I gotta look it up though because I cannot remember which way it goes. So let me look it up real fast. It's really hard to tell from that diagram, but it almost looks like this goes in first and then that seal. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully I can even get this black one back out. It's in there already. Yeah, it almost looks like this white one goes in here first, which I don't really understand that, but whatever. At least from the diagram, that's what it looks like. And then it looks like this seal goes in here now, like that maybe. That don't really fit in there good. Maybe it goes this way. Probably. And then this would go in this way. Like this. Just doesn't seem like this is the right way. But this is how it looks on the diagram, so I don't know, maybe we'll look at it again and double check, because I just don't see this as being right. According to the diagram that I looked at, it looks like it's supposed to be this white one first and then the black one, but it's really, really hard to tell because the diagram doesn't show very well. So let's just get some anti-seize and just throw this thing on. Okay, I got this on here. This was kind of a pain to get on. I had to use a hammer to tap it on here, but you put the spring first, then this little arrow key thing, then your bracket here, which turns the brake in here. The brakes are attached. So now I need to put this rubber seal on, actually, there. And then on the front, I'm not tightening this up yet in case I have to adjust it some more, but we should be able to slide this on. Our collar is inside here, like that. We should be able to slide this on and get it pretty well lined up. Looks like that way. Like that. Our brakes went on. There we go. Okay, the axle spins. Push that, the brake holds it. So now that that's there, they give us some new bolts. I'm going to thread a couple of these bolts in here, and then we can go ahead and start putting the washers and stuff on here, and I'll show you which way to do that. Okay, now it's not tight. It's just, I literally just turn these by hand. Now we have to put the big washer on, the little washer on, then we thread this one on. I need to probably clean these up some. Actually pretty dirty. Let's see if it goes on there. And then after this one's all the way down, we're gonna tighten this one up pretty good. I don't know the torque specs. I'll try to list them on the screen. I don't have anything really to torque this because I don't have a bolt or a socket long enough to fit on here. And then once this one's on here, obviously you tighten this nut up against it and snug it up. And again, I'll list those torque specs on the screen for you. And then I'll also list the torque specs for these. There should be several bolts on here. We'll torque those suckers down, and then we should be able to attach our brake thing here now. But let me get this all squared away, and then we'll move on to that. Okay, I got this axle nut on here. I got these brake pieces on here. They're probably a little tight right now, but it is what it is. I don't know why this is so tight here, this brake line. It's brand new. It's from All Balls. So, I mean, it said it was for this thing, so I'm not sure exactly why it's like the way it is, but it is what it is. And then I've adjusted these a little bit, And I don't know the torque specs for this again, and I don't have a way to torque it. So I've just been taking a wrench here and hitting it like that and making sure this is real tight. And I'm gonna do the same on this side. And then we should be able to test the brakes. The axle's nice and tight in there, no movement, no wiggling. And then we should be able to put the hubs on, wheels, and then take this thing for a ride. Okay, I got everything on. Wheels are back on, brakes are on. I refilled the rear diff thing over there with some fluid, some hypoid gear oil. And then the last thing I have to do is torque these lug nuts for the tires. I'm gonna set it off of here, and I'm gonna go around the block and see if the brakes work, if I need to adjust them, and see how that is. And then that's probably gonna be the end of this one. All right, guys, that's gonna be the end of this one. Unfortunately, I did not record this outro when I filmed that last part of the video. It's actually been like 2 weeks since I filmed that part, and I did take this thing out on a good ride after I filmed that. I actually went a little bit of mudding, kind of got stuck, which was kind of cool. But anyway, it ran great, ran fine, had no problems with the rear brakes or the axle whatsoever. Everything was pretty smooth. So now we can basically move on to what you see right there, which is a top end kit. I'm gonna be filming that today, trying to get that done. It is a big bore kit, so hopefully this thing has a little bit more power. That would be awesome. If you guys want to help support this channel, consider subscribing, like this video, and the links in the description are affiliate links. They do help support me. So if you want to buy something from the video, please use one of those links. It's an easy way to help support my channel. But that's going to be it, guys. Hope you have a good one. If you have any questions, let me know down below. If you think I did something wrong or if I could improve something, please let me know. That's it. I don't know what else to say, guys. Hope you have a good one. Bye.